What's going on, guys? Your boy, Coach Anthony, trainer of champions. I've worked with world champions, former world champions, world title contenders, national amateur champions, Olympians, MMA fighters at the Bellator and the UFC level. You name them, I've worked with them, and now I'm here to work with you. Get started for my southpaws. I didn't forget you guys on this, all right? I want you to understand, all my instructionals, you should always envision when you're learning the fundamentals of boxing, if you're boxing another southpaw. That's the first thing, because you want to learn things with proper form and technique from a conventional stance, but from a southpaw, your conventional stance, which is basically going to be like this, and you want to learn it as if you're boxing at the southpaw. But I didn't exclude you guys. I gave you guys information on how you would do it against the opposite stance. And the same thing for my orthodox boxers. If you bump into a southpaw, I explain how you can use these angles to go ahead and create new opportunities against the opposite stance. So I just want to let you guys know you're getting like a 2-for-1 right now, because there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that's going to help you box the opposite stance. And that's mainly what you're going to do when you're boxing the opposite stance, is figure out different ways to create angles. That's why a lot of the best southpaws are really good at angles, because they're so used to boxing orthodox boxers, and they always got to figure out how to get off to the side, especially the way everything's positioned. So this is definitely a very knowledgeable. It's a very good instructional for people who want to understand how to box the opposite stance, and also for creating angles. So, you know what I mean? I didn't leave you guys out, all right? So be very happy that you made this purchase, because you're going to learn a lot. All right, guys. So like I said previously, there's two angles in boxing that are primary, and that's left and right. So if I'm standing here in front of Eddie, my goal is either to get to the right of him or to the left of him, right? So let's face the camera, right? I'm in the middle. This is called the center line of boxing. My goal when I'm creating an angle, no matter how I create it, no matter how creative I am when I create it, is to either get to the right, bang, bang, or get to the left, bang, bang. Or if I'm doing pivots or slides, bang, and so on and so forth, right? I go on the other side, bang, right? That's the main objective here, right? This is something that people overthink sometimes, and they think that all these angles have to be this complicated move, and sometimes it doesn't have to be. As simple as simply stepping over there and hoping that you can freeze your opponent when you get over there. So the easiest basic way that I could think of is basically jabbing your way if you're boxing orthodox versus orthodox. Actually, for my southpaws out there, I wanted to make sure that I clarify this. Most of this stuff works southpaw versus orthodox, orthodox versus southpaw also, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that as well. But if you are a righty versus a righty, okay, all he's gonna do is jab his way to the left. Bop, 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 right? Now, whether he did a single jab, all right, do one jab, bop. Now look, we're only gonna do one before I go ahead, and I'll explain why I like to double and triple. But if he does one, he got the angle, all right? Simple. Now watch this. He does one, bop. He already cleared the angle. Look, he's already in position for that right hand. Bang, right? So let's just say throw one, bop, and then you just throw your right hand. Bang. He can land his right hand, I can't land mine. And that's the whole key to the angle. So if we're boxing, before I demonstrate on the mitts, let's say we're sparring or we're fighting, and he does that move, bop, bop, double up and triple up. Bop, bop, bop. Now look where he is. All right? In order for me to stop that angle, I got to step with him. Okay? But if I don't step with him, bop, 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 he's already got the angle, sets me up for the right hand. I'm sure you've seen it in boxing time and time again. Now, the reason why I like to double or triple that jab as I'm sliding to the left is to stop that right hand as I'm going over, because the right hand you can time the jab with the right hand. If I'm throwing a single jab and then stepping, right, it'll be very easy for him to just wait, and then when I step, bang, walk me into a right hand. But if I'm snapping my jab, now he has to defend. As he's defending, puts me in a nice position to land my own right hand. And something that you should always remember in boxing is a good offense can't be countered, it can only be defended. Now, let that sink in for a second. A good offense, okay? Not a regular offense, a good offense. If you got somebody out there who's snapping their jab the way they're supposed to, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna look to counter that jab. Your job is, I'm not gonna get hit with that jab. As you're worrying about not getting hit and you're defending whether you get hit or not, that guy already created an angle which puts him in a nice position for a straight right hand. If you're boxing a southpaw, it's the same thing. If we're battling the lead hands, double, triple your jab, bang, bang, bang. And look, he's got that same exact angle, sliding to his left, which clears everything. So for my southpaws out there, don't say anymore that I left you guys out, okay? It's just a different shot that you're looking for, because if you're boxing the right-handed fighter, now you're popping that jab, circling this way, right? You cleared the jab and the cross on this side. As long as you don't walk into that right hook, right? You could go ahead and walk over it. We're bada bang, exactly. And now he doesn't have to worry about my straight left hand, which is basically the jab, just this foot is here. See what happens when you don't overcomplicate this? It's pretty easy. All right, so stepping to the left, popping that jab is the first way to create that angle. Let me go ahead and demonstrate with Eddie some full speed here. All right, so he's gonna go ahead. This is something you could do with your coach, one of your friends. You don't even have to be a mid expert. You just work on this. Double jab, triple, triple, pop, pop, triple, pop, pop, pop. Now notice he's getting to a new spot, which right now is to his left, to my right. All right, pop, pop, pop. Good. Now let's throw a double jab and then line that right hand up for me. Pop, pop, bang. All right, ready? Do it all to this mitt. Go. Pop, pop, bang. Good. Again. Pop, pop, bang. Good. I'll do it here. Go. Pop, pop, bang. I got nothing. He got something. Now that we're on that move with that step, let me show you what else you could do to create that same exact angle, just a different movement. And this is off the head movement. I throw a jab. He's gonna slip and step at the same time and then cut the angle. So he'll go. And look at that. Bang. Let's do it one more time. Face me this way. All right, you guys see me? I'm gonna throw the jab. Now look at that. Bang, bang. Gets me right up the center or whatever, okay? So let's do it one more time. Do it quick now. And then I'll catch the uppercut in the straight right. Bang, bang. All right? Bang, bang. That's it. Do it again. Bang, bang. Okay? So you see how that works? So basically, it's the same movement as if I threw the hook, but he's just using the head now to get to that same spot to put him in a new angle. Fantastic move. Add it to your box. Okay, and like I was saying before about every movement, when you're creating angles, you have to freeze your opponent. Okay, I already talked about that. So that slip move obviously is one way to freeze, because if I think I can land a jab on him and he slips, right, I'm semi-frozen, but the only thing is, once he makes that move, if I'm quick enough, I can turn with him. So now, to make this move really, really effective, you slip and jab at the same time. Now you're definitely gonna freeze him. So now he's gonna slip, bang. There you go. All right, so do it again, and bang. All right, let's do it again, and bang. Good. One more time. Quick now. Do it again. Beautiful move. So all you're doing is slipping and boom, and it out. All right, now guys, we're gonna get into slipping. Okay. So we're gonna focus on slipping the jab. What he's going to do is slip outside of my jab. So I throw a jab and boom. Okay. Again, boom. Again, boom. Okay. So you notice his head goes off that center. One more time. Boom. Again, boom. Now what's good about that, it puts him in position for a cross. Okay. Boom, bang. Again, boom, bang. All right. And he can actually slip the other direction. So he can slip inside, right? Again. Again. So when slipping straight punches, you can literally slip both ways for the most part. So I'll go ahead and put that together. Okay. Again. There you go, all right? Very dangerous crossing that line like that, but it can be done. You basically have options, and it puts you in different positions for different counter punches off of the slip, but that's how you slip a jab. Okay, keep your hands up for this, traditional. Yeah. so now we'll talk about slipping the cross, okay? So I'm gonna throw the straight cross and he's going to slip over his lead leg. Again, again, again. Good. Now, you can also slip the other direction. I like more of a bending at the waist, so instead of him slipping the way he slipped the jab, he would go one level further. I made a video a long time called Frames, where it was frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. He would kind of go to like a frame 3 in this position, so he'll, just in case, because if he slips to where he would slip the jab, it kind of still lines him up. He goes a little bit further and it kind of goes over. So you have the option to slip both directions on the cross also. When you decide to slip toward your right, you have to go a little further down, okay? So that's just a big important tip for you guys to know. And you can also roll under the straight right hand, but we're gonna go over that in a second. Okay, so now we're gonna go under hooks, okay? So this is called bobbing or bobbing and weaving or rolling under, all the same thing basically, just different names. The only thing he's gonna do is make that letter U with his upper body. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now if I go ahead and throw the other hand, you use the other way, okay? Okay, now notice, I said letter U, face the camera. The letter U. You see that how I'm drawing a U in front of you guys? That's all he's doing, all right? So there's a lot of torso being involved, all right? And the beautiful thing about creating those U's, he goes this way and he goes this way and bang. And then you can go ahead and come back with the crosses on that, all right? Okay, and now for training purposes, we like to teach a slip, slip, roll. And then I'm gonna give you a better option, okay? So hands up, he'll go ahead and he'll slip, slip, roll, okay? And then you can actually double roll if you want. Slip, slip, roll, roll, okay? So for teaching purposes, we always teach a slip, slip, roll. But in fighting, a real fight, I like a slip, roll, roll. And this is what I was talking about earlier, how you could roll the right hand. So he could slip, roll, roll. So you see I threw the straight right hand and he rolled under it. Slip, roll, roll. And the reason for that is so he doesn't cross that line up high. Because if he crosses that line, there is an opportunity for the straight, but when he goes under it, he goes under it and he goes under it, right? So that's actually a big deal. I like the slip, slip, roll just for teaching guys that left, right, tick-tock, how to transfer their weight. But once we start talking about strategy and realistic boxing, we transition into a slip, roll, roll. All right, so now we're gonna talk about pulls. All right, and this is where I already covered the jab, the cross, the hook, where he slipped the jab, he slipped the cross, he rolled the hook. So you were probably thinking about what happened to the uppercut. So we're gonna start off with the uppercuts. We already kind of covered this in the beginning, but I'm gonna go over it again. Literally the inside, really, you know, we talk about blocking uppercuts, but I think the choice for most good fighters is pulling from an uppercut. I see most fighters just don't want to be there for it. So if I'm here and I throw the uppercut, just pull. You see that? Pull. Again, pull. All right, now you can do the same thing for the hook. Pull, pull, pull. Now notice how he pulls. Show him the rock back on the feet. All right, the footwork is very important on this. So, boom, see the snap back here? Okay, now the back foot, you don't always have to rock back with the back foot. You can just rock back with the waist. It's kind of a situational situation, case by case. Rock back, all right? And so that's the uppercut and the hook. And what people are most known for rocking back on or pulling, all right, is the jab. So he could pull, bang, again. Pull, bang. Now, also what Floyd Mayweather likes to do, which I always talk about the difference, the pull, is he kind of leans over that lead leg a little bit when he rocks back. So it's kind of like a bang, and see he can shoot that cross, but that upper body is actually positioned over that lead leg, and then he can actually slide left. So you can go ahead and rock, bang, and then pivot out left. So when you're adding the pulls, that's basically how when you would use it. You would use it to rock back from mainly uppercuts. You can do the hook. You have to be careful with the hook, because when you're rocking back, you're kind of in a bad position. If a guy's coming with a left hook straight right hand, you can get cracked. But you know, in the situation, a lot of times you can get away with stuff. So at least you understand when you should pull. You can pull the jab, the cross, the uppercut. Mainly the jab, the hook, and the uppercuts. Those are the main punches that you would rock back from, and that's how you do it. All right, so now we're gonna talk about defensive responsibilities when you're punching. Okay, now this is overlooked probably when people are thinking about a defense video, because you figure that's just how you throw the punches, but we're gonna really cover and break down why you do what you do. All right, and also guys, I know I talk a lot about going to the website and checking out the courses and whatnot, but we also got some free stuff in the description, man. So make sure you guys go to the description. I got a bunch of free stuff in there. So if you guys want some freebies, make sure you guys go to the description. All you're gonna have to do is drop your email in there and you guys are hooked up.